Welcome to this interactive explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are putting your mind to the absolute ultimate test to uncover the 5 signs that you are a genius. Seriously, we're not just going to sit here and talk theory. I'm challenging you to a play-along test right here, right now, to see if you actually possess a genius brain. So, keep a mental tally of how you do, because by the end of this, you're going to have a much clearer picture of your own cognitive power.
All right, let's dive right in with a quick visual warm-up. Take a look at these 2 lines. Line A is up top, line B is on the bottom. I'm going to give you exactly 3 seconds to decide which one is longer. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so shockingly, a massive majority of people will confidently tell you that line B looks longer. But here's the crazy part. In reality, line A and line B are the exact same length. No way, right? Well, how is that even possible? It's all about the ends of the lines. Line A has these closed ends, which visually compresses the whole thing, kind of squishing it down to make it look shorter. But line B has open ends, expanding our perception of it.
And honestly, this perfectly illustrates the fundamental difference between an average brain and a superintelligent genius brain. You see, an average brain just kind of looks at things on the surface, right? It's super easily tricked by superficial presentations, like those open and closed ends we literally just looked at. It really struggles to look past the obvious. But a genius brain, it concentrates deeply on the actual details and the true dimensions. It basically pierces right through the illusion to see reality. So today, we're going to run through some specific tests to figure out exactly which category your brain falls into.
But hey, before we jump into the official tests, I just have to share this absolutely fascinating historical anecdote to set the stage. Years ago, when Albert Einstein, who is, let's be real, arguably one of the greatest scientific minds in human history, when he passed away, a doctor actually stole his brain to study it. I know, wild, right? Well, for 40 years, this doctor researched Einstein's brain and uncovered some hidden facts that completely shocked the world. He discovered that certain portions of Einstein's brain had actually grown over 20% larger than a normal human's. It's that physical difference that allowed Einstein to think further, be vastly more creative, and concentrate with just intense ease.
So, that incredible 40-year study essentially proved that genius brains are physically and functionally different from the rest of ours. But the doctor also pointed out something super important. Einstein wasn't the only one. There are actually a ton of people walking around today with genius-level brains who don't even realize they have them. Building on all this research, experts designed 5 distinct steps, or tests, really, to figure out if someone has a normal brain or a genius brain. And those are the exact 5 tests we're going to take together today.
All right, let's get into it. Stage 1, the personality test. For this first stage, we've got 4 rapid-fire scenarios. Just be completely honest with your gut reactions, because they reveal your underlying cognitive type. Okay, scenario number 1. Imagine you're walking down a path, and someone suddenly stops you and says, "Hey, don't go down this road, take the other one." You've basically got 2 options here. Option A, you just obey without question and take the other route. Or option B, you ask them, "Well, why shouldn't I go down this road?" So, which do you choose? Be honest. If you went with option B, huge congratulations. Studies actually show that true geniuses, including plenty of famous scientists throughout history, always ask why instead of just blindly following orders. If you're the kind of person who constantly asks questions at school, or work, or just in life, that is a major, major sign of a genius. Moving right along, scenario number 2. Let's say you have a completely free day, no obligations, 0 plans. Do you choose option A, which is to stay alone, maybe read some books, meditate, and just enjoy your own company? Or option B, go out, play on your phone, and hang out with friends? So if you chose option A, get this. Scientists link this strong preference for alone time, reading, deep thought, and even talking to yourself directly to high intelligence. While society might sometimes label folks who talk to themselves as, kind of eccentric, science actually tells us they possess incredibly sharp, fast-moving minds.
Okay, scenario number 3. You're packing for a 7-day trip to a bunch of different locations. Do you pack completely different outfits for every single day, or do you basically wear the exact same style of clothing for all 7 days? Now, what's really fascinating here is that if you chose wearing the same clothes, you actually share a trait with some of the smartest minds on the planet. Research shows that highly successful geniuses, we're talking people like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, are famous for wearing the exact same style of t-shirt and pants every single day. Why on earth would they do that? Well, because a genius brain prefers to conserve its decision-making power for the really complex problems, rather than wasting it on picking out an outfit.
And finally, scenario number 4. Think about your own handwriting. Is it exceptionally neat and beautiful, or is it just average, or maybe even below average?
Now, I know you were probably told in school that good handwriting is super important, but a major scientific study revealed that people with average or outright bad handwriting are actually far more intelligent. The science basically suggests that their brains are thinking and processing information so fast, their hands literally just cannot keep up with making the letters look neat.
So let's tally up stage 1. We've got the 4 bizarre traits of a genius: constantly asking why, enjoying your alone time and talking to yourself, wearing the same clothes to save mental energy, and having messy handwriting. If you matched up with these, you have officially cleared the first stage of the genius test. Pretty cool, right? Now let's keep this momentum going and see how you handle some pure cognitive processing.
Moving on to stage 2, the word test. This stage is all about measuring your raw concentration and your powers of observation. I'm going to give you exactly 5 seconds to find the mistake in the sentence in front of you. Ready? Go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Did you catch it? Most average brains will read right through this and think, yep, everything looks perfectly fine, but a genius brain, it spots the error instantly. The phrase, a word, is actually typed twice right there in the middle of the sentence. People with a genius brain just have these exceptionally high observation and concentration skills, which allows them to catch those tiny anomalies that normal brains just automatically filter out. So, did you catch it?
Let's do a quick, fun little bonus challenge for stage 2. Right where you are, close your eyes and try to type your own first name on your keyboard or your phone screen without looking at all. Seriously, go ahead and try it. If you typed it perfectly, that means the synchronization between the left and right hemispheres of your brain is fantastic, which shows a really high baseline concentration. But if it came out looking like absolute gibberish, well, your concentration power might just need a little bit of a workout.
All right, here we go with stage 3, the image test. For this one, let's test your brain's visual spatial awareness. I want you to imagine a classic 3D pyramid. Think of the ones over in Egypt. Now, in your mind's eye, imagine flying a drone directly over the peak of it and looking straight down. What 2D shape do you see from that top-down perspective? I'll give you a few seconds to really visualize it. Got it? Okay. If you pictured a square with an X in it, or basically 2 diagonal lines connecting the opposite corners, you are absolutely spot on. Science tells us that passing this test proves you have high visualization power, meaning you can mentally construct and deconstruct objects effortlessly, which is for sure a true genius trait.
Next up, stage 4, mental ability. This is your classic test of mental calculation, logic, and raw IQ potential. Normally, you'd have about 30 seconds to look at a complex sequence of numbers and figure out the hidden mathematical rule to find the missing number. If you've ever taken an actual IQ test, you know exactly what this looks like. Being able to spot that hidden relationship quickly is a massive indicator of high cognitive speed. But listen, here's the really important thing. If you ever struggle with math or logic puzzles, please do not panic. Mental ability is highly tied to development. Your brain is literally a muscle, and your IQ naturally increases over time as you study, as you learn, and as you expose yourself to more complex problems.
And finally, stage 5, the fear test.
We've arrived at the final, and quite frankly, the most important indicator of a true genius mindset. Here's your last scenario. Imagine you just took a massive, super important exam and you completely failed. Just terrible marks. How do you instinctively react? Option A. Do you get sad, maybe cry, and start making excuses like, oh, the test was totally unfair, or I just wasn't feeling well that day? Or option B. Do you sit down, grab your graded paper, and start intensely analyzing your mistakes to figure out exactly why you got them wrong?
The absolutely crucial point here is this. If you chose option B, you possess the ultimate marker of a genius. You see, a true genius never, ever blames external factors, like bad health, or bad teachers, or even just bad luck. Instead, their mindset is driven by this intense, burning curiosity. They have a relentless desire to analyze their own mistakes. They don't run away from failure. They lean right into it and ask, okay, what did I do wrong and how do I fix it? That unbroken curiosity is literally the dividing line between an average thinker and a historic mind.
And just like that, that brings us to the end of our interactive test. So out of the 5 stages, how many signs of a genius did you actually score? Keep in mind, true intelligence isn't just about the hardware you were born with. It is so much more about the curiosity you actively cultivate. So the real question to leave you with is this. The very next time you face a failure, are you going to make an excuse or are you going to ask why? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and remember to never, ever stop testing the limits of your own mind.